Hi, I'm Amanda from Grey Kitchen Table, and I wanted to quickly share with you today what comes with your Thermomix if you buy a Thermomix. So this is the Thermomix, and this is the mixing bowl. This is the mixing bowl lid, and this is called the measuring cup, which sits inside the lid like a little teapot lid. That sits on top of the bowl. You'll find inside the bowl there's just one blade, not like other mixers. There's lots of other blades. This is actually the one blade, and it works both clockwise and anti-clockwise depending on the recipe. So obviously when it goes clockwise, it's chopping up the ingredients, and if it works in anti-clockwise, it's for mixing or stirring, so you don't end up with sort of baby food puree. All comes apart. Everything goes in the dishwasher. So that's quite simple. When you first get yours, it'll be a little bit tough to sort of take apart. We just practice a few times, and that goes back on. So the bowl sits in like that. So this is the simmering basket. This is what we use for all our grains, steaming potatoes, vegetables and things. That sits inside the mixing bowl, and then you put the lid on like that, and so that's where you can be steaming the rice inside there. This is the spatula. So this is a really ergonomically designed. It's a bit flexible like that, so that you can scrape things out of the bowl. It's got this skirt on it, which means it doesn't actually touch the bench when it sits on the bench, so that's good for not messing up your bench. And this little skirt is really useful if you are mixing something inside the bowl. It won't go onto the blade, so that's a good design. There's also this little hook there, which I'm not sure if you can see, that then goes in there, so that if you're cooking the rice, you can actually take it out like that without burning yourself, tip it out, the contents. So that's really useful little tip. You can also strain off using it like that as well. So that's good, the simmering basket. Now, another accessory is the splash guard. This is used for the high temperature recipes. It's more of a health and safety thing. Sits on top, and the arms won't close around in the recipe, and the recipe won't start unless that's in place, so that you don't lean over and burn yourself. It also can be used to allow some steam to escape if you're thickening up some sauces or things like that. So that's quite good. Some people would use it when they're cooking their jam. So that's the splash guard. So this is the butterfly whisk. So this sits just to the left of the highest side of the blade inside the bowl. So this is when you're whisking your egg whites or emulsifying a sauce. So that just gives it a bit more fluff and volume. So that's another fixture. Then we've got the Varoma. So this is a Thermomix made up word, cooking in vapors and aromas, and it sits on top like that with the multi-layered cooking. The measuring cup is out, so you can see that little round there sits nicely onto the top of the lid. So this is for when we are doing the all-in-one cooking, steaming and above. You could be making some sauce there, you could be steaming your rice inside the simmering basket, and then you could be cooking your fish or a chicken, or you can steam a cheesecake. Inside the Varoma, there's the Varoma tray, which is what would have sort of the vegetables and things that are easier to steam, quicker to steam, sitting on top. So if you would have a whole chicken in here with the lid on, you could do that. The rule of thumb is sort of half an hour of steaming time needs half an hour of liquid, so that's quite good. If you were steaming your fish or something below and then wanted the thinner vegetables like sort of snow peas or asparagus and things on top at the same time like that. So that's a really useful and time-saving thing, all-in-one cooking. It also comes with Simple Ideas, which is just a reference guide really. In the beginning it talks about converting your own recipes and how to go about that. And in the back, in the resource section, there's sort of chopping functions, steaming times and things. So it's a really good go-to to help you. Of course, you get 6 months with the recipe platform, which is known as Cookie Do, and that's access to over 50,000 recipes. All the countries that have a Thermomix, you can access their recipes by adjusting the filters. So that's really great. It's amazing amount of inspiration and really builds your confidence, so you get to sort of try things that you wouldn't have thought you would be cooking, and because they're triple tested in the recipe development team, they're just foolproof, and it guides you through every single step. So you just press next, it weighs it in there for you. So that's all really great for novice cooks, or really increasing your repertoire if you do love cooking. That is access there, swiping across the screen, and it can also be used on your phone or on your laptop, and you can drop things into your week, so it's a really good planning tool. Or you can actually create shopping lists and order from your chosen store. So that's another fabulous thing about Cookie-Doo. That's the time, temperature and speed gauge, which all the recipes revolve around. And then you swipe that way and you've got all the built-in functions. You don't need to use scales. They're all there. You tear it back to 0 in the middle of the recipe. There's a dough mode, a turbo, pre-clean. So although everything goes in the dishwasher, you actually can cover the blades with water and a tiny splash of dishwashing liquid, and there's 4 different settings depending on how dirty the bowl is, and it will pre-clean it for you. There is actually a mode for when you've caramelized or done any of those recipes with a high temperature that are really sticky, when you just put a splash of vinegar in it and give it a really good vinegar wash. This is definitely useful as well if you're going to be whisking egg whites, because you really need to make sure that you've got a really clean bowl. There's blend for the blending of the soup. Egg boiler, amazing. Just put your eggs in there with some water, and you can choose what type of way you want them cooked. You can set and forget, just walk away and have your shower, so then your eggs won't be bobbing dry when you come down. It'll be perfect. The kettle mode, something I didn't think I was going to use that much, but has been really life-changing with green tea. We're sort of setting it to 80 degrees, no more bitter jasmine tea. So that's been really good. Or I guess if you were somewhere that didn't have a kettle, camping, or in a hotel room, if you were taking it with you one time. So that's all good, or even if you were doing a renovation, it would be helpful. Warming up mode, you can warm up anything that you've cooked before. Thickening for like the hollandaise, bechamel, any of those sauces. The rice cooker mode for cooking your rice, obviously. Then when you swipe across again, these are the last 3 that are on here at the moment for slow cook, fermenting and sous vide. They're just longer, slower cooking processes, but you can also see that there's lots of space there, so there's constant updating of the software. It's one of those rare appliances that actually gets better as you've got it, and you don't have to actually keep paying for the updates. You'll turn it on, it'll say software update available, and it'll automatically do that for you. So that's good. Plus it comes with a 2-year warranty. So if you'd like to see it in action, I can give you a virtual demo, but I just wanted to give you a quick rundown now of what comes with it. Okay, have a good day.